Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips Daily Fantasy MLB Preview Show. For today, the 9th of August, I will be taking a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I will be looking at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a lineup to maximise our point scoring potential, foundation players that should be used as the foundation to build a winning lineup upon, and a value player at each position. For anybody that hasn't had the opportunity to sign up and play daily fantasy sports with DraftKings yet, I will put a link in the description for this video that will enable you to do that today. Starting pitcher did look a little bit of a struggle today. It's fairly top heavy. There is some quality up top. There's not a lot down low that you'd like to use. Max Scherzer is the most expensive pitcher today at $12,900 of the Washington Nationals, and you pay for what you get. Scherzer is back to his old self after a poor start to the year. He's gone 4-1 with a 1.86 ERA in his last 7 starts, and the home run issues from earlier this season are apparently rectified. He's a clear play in pretty much any matchup. He has 198 strikeouts in 156 2/3 innings. Cleveland are not a high strikeout lineup, but it really doesn't matter against Scherzer, who has got double-digit upside and potential to go deep every start he makes. Marco Estrada of the Toronto Blue Jays for $11,500. He gets the Rays today. The Tampa Bay Rays rank 4th in baseball for strikeouts on the season. Estrada can usually be relied on for consistent performance. He's gone 7-4 with a 2.92 ERA this season. He's got 115 strikeouts in 123 1/3 innings. He has had success against the Tampa Bay Rays in the past. In 7 starts in his career, he's gone 1-1 with a .86 ERA against them. The only thing that you might want to look at is that Estrada, when pitching on an extra day's rest, has not been as effective as when he's in his normal routine. And obviously Toronto are using the 6-man rotation at the moment. So that's the only real potential drawback I can see for Estrada as a play today. And Hector Santiago of the Minnesota Twins is 8,000. Santiago's strikeout rate is reasonable. He's got 111 outs via strike 3 in 125 2/3 innings this year, and should be higher than normal against the Astros, who struck out the second most in the major leagues this year, and they have struggled for some reason against left-handed pitching, even though you wouldn't expect their lineup with plenty of right-handed boppers in there to actually struggle against the lefties. Santiago has been one of the more solid pitchers in the major leagues for a while. He's 6-1 with a 2.45 ERA in his last 7 starts even. That defeat being on his Twins debut the last time out. I'm hoping he settles down a little bit more now. He'll be into the routine of being a Twin, etc. He gave up a single run in 6 innings against Houston, the only time he's faced them when he was pitching for the Angels earlier this year, and those are really the only 3 pitchers that I've sort of identified today. Stacks of the day, there are loads of them today. Obviously, Coors Field looks in play for both teams. If I had to pick one team to stack, I'd lean towards stacking the Rockies. Personally, what I think I'm going to do is eliminate Coors, as it's the only early game, and probably just play the late slate, avoid the all-day one myself. Looking at the stacks, Trevor Bauer has an ERA over 8 in his last 5 starts, has seen his home run rate rise as well. We all know there's power in the Washington lineup, so I think there's a stack there that's worth a look. Second baseman Daniel Murphy for $5,100 is on the right side of the platoon, is hitting .350 with 21 home runs this year. Outfielder Bryce Harper for $4,900 has missed a game due to the neck injury. The Nationals were off yesterday, so I'm hoping that after he left Saturday he will be back in the lineup today, but obviously you'll need to keep an eye on it. He's on the right side of the platoon, hitting .233 with 20 homers. Leadoff hitter Trey Turner, who qualifies at second, or for the purpose of this stack we'll use him in the outfield, $4,000, hitting .303, 2 home runs and 8 stolen bases on the year. And catcher Wilson Ramos for $5,000 is a lot of money for a catcher, but there aren't many catchers out there hitting .338 with 18 home runs this year, and in his last 7 games he's hitting .417 with 3 long balls. Luis Severino is back for the Yankees, so with the Boston Red Sox I think we should be looking to stack against him. He carries a 7.46 ERA as a starter, and he could be just the answer for the slumping Red Sox bats. First baseman David Ortiz for $5,100 is on the right side of the platoon. He has hit 3 home runs off of Luis Severino in something like 5 at bats. He's hitting .309 with 25 home runs this year. Second baseman Dustin Pedroia for 4,100. He has a home run off of Severino as well. 295 hitter with 12 home runs this year. Shortstop Xander Bogaerts for 4,100 is hitting 317 with 14 homers and 13 stolen bases. Mookie Betts in the outfield for 5,500 is hitting 311 with 23 homers and 18 steals. One of the few bats that isn't slumping for the Red Sox. He's hit 400 with 2 homers in his last 7 games. An outfielder Jackie Bradley Jr. for 4,600. He's on the right side of the platoon. He's hitting 286, 17 homers and 7 stolen bases this year. The Atlanta Braves, I think this is probably the first time I've been looking at a Braves stack all year. They get to face Willie Peralta, who has an ERA over 6 when pitching in the major leagues earlier this season. Got demoted to the minors back in June. Since he's been down there, he's managed an ERA over 6 in 10 starts at AAA, so it sure doesn't look like Peralta is fixed. It's tough to gauge what ownership will be on the light-hitting Braves against an awful pitcher today, but I think we'll take first baseman Freddie Freeman for 5,200. He has a home run against Peralta. He's on the right side of the platoon, hitting 277 with 19 home runs. Outfielder Nick Markakis for 4,700 is also on the right side of the platoon. Hit a home run yesterday. He's 273, 7 homers a year. Outfielder Matt Kemp for 4,800 is another with a home run off of Peralta. He's 260 with 24 home runs this season. Ender Inciarte for 4,600 completes the outfield trio. He's a leadoff man on the right side of the platoon, hitting 419 with a home run in his last 7 games, which is way up from his 266 number with 2 homers on the season. And we'll finish it off with shortstop Eric Ibar for 4,100. The switch hitter does hit up the top of the lineup. He's a 234 hitter with 1 home run on the season, but he is hitting 353 in his last 15 games. And finally, the Diamondbacks, who go to Citi Field to face Steven Matz. Matz has not been the same since the bone spurs in his elbow reared their ugly head. He's gone 1-5 with a 4.25 ERA in his last 7 starts, and we know the D-backs have some guys who can hit left-hand as well. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt for 4,300 has the platoon. 293, 17 homers and 14 steals on the year. Catcher Wellington Castillo for 3,800. 254, 12 home runs. He had a home run the last game he played. An outfielder Yasmani Tomas for 5,000 is on the right side of the platoon. 272 with 21 home runs this season. 356 with 8 home runs his last 15 games. Love Yasmani Tomas today. Obviously the ballpark is big. That's the only drawback. I couldn't put you off stacking Cubbies against Jared Weaver or Marlins against Matt Moore either. But I'm not going to put everyone up as a stack, or else I want anyone to use in the foundation players and value plays. Looking at the foundation players today, my first baseman is Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs for 5,400. He has the platoon against Weaver. He crushes right-handed pitching. At the prices, I probably prefer Puppy, maybe Freeman as well, but it is a great park, and Rizzo is 286 with 24 home runs on the year. Second baseman Ian Kinsler of Detroit for 4,800, 296, 21 homers and 12 stolen bases from the top of the order. Has the platoon against Wade LeBlanc. He's hitting 444 with a homer in his last 7 games. Third baseman Martin Prado for Miami for 4,500 has the platoon against Matt Moore. He has crushed lefties this year. Matt Moore's got a 7+ ERA in 2 starts at the Trop. Prado hit a home run yesterday, 325 6 home runs this year. Manny Machado at short also qualifies at third for Baltimore, 5,100. Gets to face Zach Neal. Neal allowed 7 earned runs in 4 innings pitched his only time he started this year. Machado has got 4 home runs in the last 2 games. He's hitting 307 with 26 bombs on the year. And Marcelo Zuna in the outfield of Miami for 4,500. He's on the right side of the platoon. Has a home run off of Moore, 287, 19 home runs this season. My value plays: at catcher, I'm putting up Miguel Montero of the Cubs for 3,300. He's on the right side of the platoon against Jared Weaver, who is hittable. I'm hoping that will drag him out of the slump. To be honest with you, the value play at catcher is Wellington Castillo, but as I've used him in a stack, I didn't want to double him up here. First baseman Eric Hosmer of the Kansas City Royals for 3,300. He's against Chris Sale, but Sale is a pitcher that he has seen well in a reasonable sample size throughout his career, including 2 home runs against him. Hosmer's hitting 279 with 15 home runs this year. At second, I'll take Jorge Polanco of the Minnesota Twins for 3,300. He also qualifies at third base. He's hitting 353 with a homer in his last 15 games. Plenty of extra bases in there as well, doubles and a couple of triples as well. Polanco has the platoon advantage against Mike Fiers in a reasonable park for his profile as a hitter. My third baseman is Javi Baez of the Cubs, who also qualifies at second for 3,800. Weaver, as I said, can be hittable. Wrigley is not a yard where you want to go to if you've not got velocity and the pitcher and the batters can square up on you. Baez is hitting 277 with 11 homers this year. My shortstop is Tim Anderson of the Chicago White Sox for 3,700. He hits at the top of the lineup, setting the table against Volquez, who's allowed 6 earned runs in back-to-back starts. He's hitting 264, 5 home runs and 4 steals on the year. My value play outfielder today is Jacoby Ellsbury of the New York Yankees for 3,700. Obviously, Rick Porcello's excelled at home, going 10-0 in 11 starts. Ellsbury is a threat on the base pass. He has the platoon against Porcello, and he's hit 4 home runs against Porcello in 25 at-bats. That equals his total number of home runs for this season. He also has 17 steals on the year, but I have to put something in those numbers, to be honest, because Ellsbury's not a power hitter, and 4 in 25 is a massive ratio for home runs. So for 3,700, he's worth a play as well. That is what I've got for you today. Best of luck with your lineups. Don't forget to let me know how you get on in the comments section, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video. Hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video, and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups and have a great day.